The man I married was already married. My name is Sophia, and I thought I had the perfect life, a beautiful home, a loving husband, a future full of dreams, but sometimes the most perfect life is built on the most perfect lie. It started like every love story. I met James at a coffee shop on a rainy Tuesday morning. He was tall, confident, charming. He smiled at me and said, "You look like someone who takes her coffee as seriously as I do." I laughed. That was the beginning. Within weeks, James was calling me every single day, sending flowers to my office, taking me to candlelit dinners. He made me feel like the most important woman in the world. 6 months later, he proposed, down on one knee, in the same coffee shop where we first met. I said yes before he even finished the sentence. We got married in a small garden ceremony, just close friends and family. James said he had no family left, no parents, no siblings. "It's just you and me now, Sophia," he said. "You are my whole world." I believed every word for 2 years. I was the happiest woman alive. Then one afternoon, everything changed. I was cleaning our bedroom when my hand touched something cold under the mattress. A phone, an old phone, locked. I didn't think much of it at first, maybe an old work phone, but something felt wrong. My hands were shaking as I tried the passcode. His birthday, wrong. Our anniversary, wrong. Then I tried something else, a date I had seen written inside his old wallet once, a date I never understood. It opened, the screen filled with messages, hundreds of them, from someone saved as home. My throat closed. I scrolled with trembling fingers. "Kids are asking when you're coming back. Your daughter drew a picture of you today. Please, James, we are your family." I dropped the phone. I sat on the floor and I couldn't breathe. James had a wife, a real wife, and 2 children, a 6-year-old daughter, a 4-year-old son. While he was sending me flowers, he was going home to them on weekends. While he was calling me his whole world, he had another world I never knew existed. I was not his wife. I was his secret. When James came home that evening, I was sitting in the living room. The phone was on the table between us. He saw it. His face went completely white. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Then he said, "Sophia, let me explain." "Explain what, James?" My voice was surprisingly calm, calm like the ocean before a storm. "How many years?" I asked. He looked down. "Sophia, How many years?" "8 years," he whispered. 8 years! He had been married for 8 years. We had been together for 3. That meant he was already married when he smiled at me in that coffee shop. Already married when he proposed. Already married when he said, "It's just you and me now." I stood up slowly. I looked at him one last time. The man I had loved completely. The man I had trusted with everything. And I said, "You didn't just lie to me, James. You lied to your children. You lied to your wife. You made all of us believe in something that was never real, and that is something I will never forgive." I picked up my keys. I walked out the door, and I never looked back. That night I called the number saved as home. A woman answered. Her voice was tired, the voice of a woman who had been waiting a long time for an explanation. "Hello." I took a deep breath. "My name is Sophia," I said, "and I think we need to talk." There was silence on the other end. Then she said, "I know who you are." Her name was Laura. We met the next morning at a small cafe. 2 women, both betrayed by the same man, both sitting across from each other, not as enemies, but as survivors. Laura had suspected for months. She had found small signs, receipts, late nights, excuses. But she had stayed because of the children, because she still believed he would change. We talked for 3 hours. We cried together. We laughed. a broken, painful kind of laugh at how perfectly James had fooled us both before we left. Laura looked at me and said, "Thank you for calling me. For the first time in years, I feel like I can finally breathe." James tried to call me every day for 2 weeks, voicemails full of apologies, promises to change, explanations that explained nothing. I never answered because some apologies are too late and some doors, once closed, should never be opened again. 6 months later, Laura filed for divorce. She got the house, she got the children, she got her freedom, and me. I moved to a new city, a new apartment, a new beginning. I started writing, telling my story to anyone who would listen, because somewhere out there is another Sophia, another woman who thinks she has the perfect love, who doesn't yet know what is hiding under the mattress. And if my story reaches her, if it saves even one woman from what I went through, then something beautiful grew out of the worst thing that ever happened to me. The man I married was already married, but the woman I became after that was finally completely and powerfully free.